Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let's welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Let's recite the verse. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 11. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9. I'm sorry, Canto 2. Canto 2, Chapter 9. Answers by citing the Lord's version. Texts 11, 12, and 13. So, I will recite 11 and read the translation for 11. Okay, we can just all recite 11 together and then I'll read the rest on my own. So let's recite 11. Yeah, we'll read 11. We'll recite 11 together. Shyamavadata Shatapatralochana Vishangavastra Suruchaha Supeshasaha Sarve Chaturbahava Unmishanmani Praveka Nishka Bharana Suvarchasaha Shyamavadata Shatapatralochana Vishangavastra Surucha Supeshasaha Sarve Chaturbahava Unmishanmani Praveka Nishka Bharana Suvarchasaha Shyamavadata Shatapatralochana Vishangavastra Surucha Supeshasaha Sarve Chaturbahava Unmishanmani Praveka Nishka Bharana Suvarchasaha. This chant.
Shyamavadata Shatapatralochana Vishangavastra Surucha Supeshasaha Sarve Chaturbahava Unmishanmani Praveka Nishka Bharana Suvarchasaha.
Shyamavadata Shatapatralochana Visangavastraha Surucha Supeshasa Sarve Chaturbhava Unmisham Mani Praveka Nishka Bharana Suvarchasa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, ma'am.
Yamavadataha शतपत्रलोचना विषङ्गवस्त्रा सुरुचः सुपेशसः सर्वे चतुर्बाहवो उन्मिषन्मणि प्रवेकनिशिकाभरणा सुवर्चसः हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shyamavadata satapatalochana Pisangavasra surucha supesasa Sarve chaturbahava unmishanmani Pravekaniskavarana suvarchasasa.
Okay. Anyone else? Let's do word-to-word translation. Shyama, sky bluish. Avadataha, glowing. Shatapatra, lotus flower. Lochanaha, eyes. Pishanga, yellowish. Vastraha, clothing. Suruchaha, greatly attractive. Supeshasaha, growing youthful. Sarve, all of them. Chatuhu, four. Bahavaha, hands. Unmishan, rising luster. Mani, pearls. Praveka, superior quality. Nishka abharana, ornamental medallions. Suvarchasaha, effulgent. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets are described as having a glowing, bluish, sky bluish complexion. Their eyes resemble lotus flowers. Their dress is of yellowish color, and their bodily features are very attractive. They are just the age of growing youths. They all have four hands. They are all nicely decorated with pearl necklaces and ornamental medallions, and they all appear to be effulgent. Purport. The inhabitants in Vaikuntha Loka are all personalities with spiritual bodily features, not to be found in the material world. We can find the descriptions in the revealed scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam. Impersonal descriptions of transcendence in the scriptures indicate that the bodily features in Vaikuntha Loka are never to be seen in any part of the universe. As there are different bodily features in different places of a particular planet, or as there are different bodily features between bodies in different planets, similarly, the bodily features of the inhabitants in Vaikuntha Loka are completely different from those in the material universe. For example, the four hands are distinct from the two hands in this world. Text 12. Pravala Vaidurya Mrinala Varchasaha Parispurat Kundala Mauli Malinaha. So here Pravala is coral, Vaidurya is a special diamond, Mrinala, celestial lotus, Varchasaha, rays, parispurat, blooming, kundala, earring, mauli, heads, malinaha, with garlands. Translation and purport. Translation. Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion. Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion, and have garlands on their heads blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings. Purport. There are some inhabitants who have attained the liberation of Sarupya, or possessing bodily features like those of the personality of Godhead. The Vaidurya diamond is especially meant for the personality of Godhead, but one who achieves the liberation of bodily equality with the Lord is especially favored with such diamonds on his body. Text 13. Brajishnubiryah parito virajate लसद्विमानावलिभिर्महात्मनां विद्योतमानः प्रमदोत्तमाद्युभिः स विद्युदभ्रावलिभिर्यथा नभः. Okay, Brajishnubihi, by the glowing, Yaha, the Vaikuntha Lokas, Paritaha, surrounded by, Virajate, thus situated, Lasat, brilliant, Vimana, airplanes, Avalibihi, assemblage, Maha Atmanam, of the great devotees of the Lord, Vidyotamanaha, beautiful like lightning, Pramada, ladies, Uttama, celestial, Adyubhi, by complexion, Savidyut, with electric lightning, Abhravalibihi, with clouds in the sky, Yatha, as it were, Nabhaha, the sky. Translation. The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, all glowing and brilliantly situated. These airplanes belong to the great Mahatmas or devotees of the Lord. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions, and all these combined together appear just like the sky, decorated with both clouds and lightning. Purport. It appears that in the Vaikuntha planets there are also airplanes, brilliantly glowing, and they are occupied by the great devotees of the Lord, with ladies of celestial beauty as brilliant as lightning. As there are airplanes, so there must be different types of carriages like airplanes, but they may not be driven by machines, as we have experience in this world. Because everything is of the same nature of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, the airplanes and carriages are of the same quality as Brahman. Because everything is of the same nature of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, the airplanes and carriages are of the same quality as Brahman. Although there is nothing except Brahman, one should not mistakenly think that there is only void and no variegatedness. Thinking like that is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Otherwise, no one would have such a misconception of voidness in Brahman. So if there were no poor fund of knowledge, or in other words, if there was sufficient knowledge, nobody would think that Vaikunthas were void, or in Brahman everything is void. As there are airplanes, ladies and gentlemen So there must be cities and houses and everything else just suitable to the particular planets. One should not carry the ideas of imperfection from this world to the transcendental world and not take into consideration the nature of the atmosphere as completely free from the influence of time, etc., as described previously. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, welcome once again to today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. Thank you so much for joining to encourage me. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, 9th chapter. A very quick recap of what we have been reading in this canto. So, Parikshit Maharaj had asked a question, a very important question about what is the important duty, what is to be done by a person who is about to give up his body, what is to be done and what is not to be done. What is to be done means what should he hear, what should he chant, what should he worship, and what should he do, what should he remember, and then what should he not hear, not chant, so on and so forth. So that was the question at the end of the first canto. And then the second canto begins with Sukadeva Goswami glorifying Parikshit Maharaj's question, because the answer to this question is the subject matter which is to be discussed, and it is approved. It is this subject matter is the highest topic to be discussed, and it is approved by all the self-realized persons like this. So then, in order to answer, so then the answer to that question was, what is the subject matter? Hare Namanu Kirtanam, right? So one should always hear about, chant, and remember and worship Hari, his names, his forms, his qualities. This is the best activity for a person who is about to die. And who is about to die? Everyone is about to die. Nobody knows when we are going to leave our bodies. We don't know. Right? So everyone is actually about to die. So the best activity for anyone, any person in this whole creation is to hear, to chant, to remember, to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what should he not do? So Sukadeva Goswami begins by saying things that he should not do. So that is Grihamedi's activities, talking about any topic other than related to Krishna. There are thousands of topics like this. And then he goes on to answer the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj had asked some questions about creation. So then, in order to answer those questions, we see the conversation between Narad Muni and Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma, Narad Muni had asked the same questions. So Sukadev Goswami is quoting those questions asked by Narad Muni, the conversation and the answers given by Brahmaji. So that will answer Parikshit Maharaj's questions. So like that, Parikshit Maharaj's questions were there in the 4th chapter. We see in the 4th chapter. And then in 5 and 6 chapters, we talked about creation, the creation pastimes of the Lord. And in the 7th chapter, we saw the sweet pastimes of the Lord, the different leelas, avatars of the Lord. And then in the 8th chapter, we saw Parikshit Maharaj's questions, a bunch of questions. The whole chapter is Parikshit Maharaj's questions. And now, of course, at the end of the 7th chapter, that was the conversation between Brahmaji and Narad Muni. So after Brahmaji speaks to Narad Muni, answering all the questions, talking about the sweet pastimes of the Lord, then Brahmaji said, now you should expand on this. Whatever you have heard from me, you should expand on this. You should also go and preach to others. Like that. After this, now Parikshit Maharaj asked several questions. That was chapter 8, filled with questions of Parikshit Maharaj. So this 9th chapter is answers to Parikshit Maharaj's questions. Okay. So what was the question of Parikshit Maharaj? The question was, several questions were there. The first question was, what is the difference between the body of the Supreme Lord and that of the living entity? Living entity means jiva, conditioned living entity. Us, the material, us who have this material body. What is the difference between the body of the Lord and the body of the conditioned soul? So, the answer to that question is given by Sukadev Goswami, that the body of the material, the body of the conditioned soul is made of the external energy, whereas the body of the Supreme Lord is not made of the external energy. Okay. So, 9th chapter, text 1, Sukadev Goswami said, O king, unless one is influenced by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no meaning to the relationship of the pure soul in pure consciousness with the material body. That relationship is just like a dreamer's seeing his own body working. What is that dream? That is Maya, external energy. So the illusion living entity appears in so many forms offered by the external energy of the Lord. While enjoying in the modes of material nature, the encaged living entity misconceives thinking in terms of I and mine. Okay, so this is the difference. Now, how can the living entity come out of this Maya? His body is because of Maya, but that the living entity himself is not made of these 24 elements. His body is made of 24 elements. Is the living entity made of external energy? No, right? Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhime param. So there are two. There is this living entity is of superior energy. We hear in Bhagavad Gita. Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yam binna prakriti ashtada. Yeah, binna prakriti. And then the next apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhime. So there's another prakriti, right? Superior to this binna prakriti. That is the living entity. So the point is, the living entity is not made of external energy, but his body is made of external energy. How is it? How is it that the spiritual living entity is encaged in the material body? How is this possible? It's possible because of Maya. It's possible because of Maya. Now, how to come out of this Maya? To be reinstated in one's original position. Yes. As soon as, this is text 3 of the 9th, this chapter, as soon as the living entity becomes situated in his constitutional glory and begins to enjoy the transcendence beyond time and material energy, he at once gives up the two misconceptions of I and mine, and thus becomes fully manifested as the pure self. So then, after saying this, immediately Parikshit Maharaj is talking about Lord Brahma performing tapasya to please the Supreme Lord. Okay? That means the way to come out of this material Maya, right, or the way to come out of this illusion, this Maya, what is the path? What is the way to come out of this Maya? And that is exemplified by Brahmaji. By doing bhakti, one can come out of this Maya. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mamevaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Right? It is very difficult, almost impossible to come out of this, from the clutches of this external energy. But one who surrenders to the Supreme Lord, he can very easily cross beyond it. So that Brahmaji is showing it by his personal example, and that is being explained here by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, how he comes out. So then, Lord Brahma, how he starts this creation. So text 4 is, O king, the personality of Godhead being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non-deceptive penance in Bhakti Yoga, presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma, and that is the objective goal for purifying the conditioned soul. So Brahmaji performed this tapasya. What was his goal? What was Brahmaji's purpose? Of course, he performed tapasya in Bhakti Yoga and he got darshan of the Supreme Lord. And to get darshan of the Supreme Lord, this doesn't show the Sanskrit to me. Okay, I'll just open my book. 1 second.
Mataji, I can get it for
Yeah,
you.
if you can share, Mataji.
Yes, yes.
294.
294, all right.
Yeah. Atma Tattva. Right? So 294 says, yeah, Sanskrit, yeah. Atma Tattva Vishuddhyartham Yad Aha Bhagavan Ritam Brahmane Darshayan Rupam Ayalika Vratadritaha. So the Lord, yes, presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma. The Lord presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma. And that is the objective goal for purifying the conditioned soul. So why did Brahmaji perform tapasya? That is said in the next verse, 5th one. Brahmaji, he is a guna avatar, right? So there are 3 guna avatars. There's Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. So Lord Brahma's function is creation. He is the deity in the mode of passion. The mode of passion is meant for creation, right? So he has that intelligence in him for creation. So naturally, when Lord Brahma appeared from Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, he desired to create. But the problem was he didn't have a proper direction how to create. He had the desire to create, but he didn't have a direction to create. So in order to the purpose, so he was trying to figure out, and then he started going down. He saw he was seated on a lotus. He started going down trying to figure out, and he couldn't see anything, he couldn't understand anything. And then when he came down in the water, he heard two syllables joined together. What were they? The 16th and 21st letters. 16th letter, that means when you start with ka and ends with ma, like ka, kha, ga, gha, nya, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, da, tha, da, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. These are 25. So in these 25, the 16th is the and the 21st is pa. So these two syllables, sparshas, he heard, and they were joined together, tapa. And he heard that sound from the water. 2 times he heard it. And then he was looking, who's speaking? He couldn't find the speaker. So what did Brahmaji do? He couldn't find, but he took it that I'm not able to see the person, but I got this message that this is what I'm supposed to do. Because this tapa, it was like an order. You do tapa, you do tapasya. So what did Brahmaji do? He went back, sat on the lotus, and he performed tapasya. What was his goal of performing this tapasya? He wanted Atma Tattva Jnanam. That means he wanted to get darshan of who? He wanted to get darshan of the Supreme who illuminates everything. Okay? He performed tapasya for 1000 years, and the purpose was, of course, he wanted to get help in creation. He wanted a direction, how to create, how to go about it. And also, he wanted the darshan of the Supreme who illuminates everything. Who is that? The ultimate word in absolute truth is what? Bhagavan. So he wanted darshan of that Bhagavan. So with this, and then when you get darshan of Bhagavan, of course, you will understand yourself also. You will know who you are, you will see yourself. When you see the Lord, you see yourself also. So with this desire, he performed tapasya. And because this was his desire in performing tapasya, the Lord actually appeared before him. The Lord gave him darshan. So in these verses, and also the last couple of verses, we are seeing the darshan which is given by the Supreme Lord to Brahmaji. Brahmaji had performed tapasya for 1000 celestial years. What is a celestial year? Celestial year is our 1 year is there 24 hours. Our 6 months is there 1 day. Day is counted as 12 hours and night is another 12 hours. So you can say our 6 months is there 12 hours, or our 1 year, earthly 1 year is there 1 day. Like that, there 1000 years Lord Brahma performed tapasya. And at the end of this tapasya, of his meditation on the Supreme Lord, the Lord actually gave him darshan. He appeared in front of him. And then what did Brahmaji see? When he got this darshan, what exactly did he see? That's what we have been reading in the past couple of verses. Let me just read them. Yes. And also we heard how his tapasya, the type of tapasya that Brahmaji did was extreme, right? Like he's the best amongst all, all tapasvis, those who perform tapasya. His tapasya was extreme. And the Lord was very pleased. It was done in devotion, and the Lord was very pleased to give him darshan. So then, text 9. Tasmai swalokam bhagavan sabhajitah sandarshayamasa param na yat param vyapeta sanklesha vimoha sadvasam swadrishta vadbhir purushaira bhishtutam. So these two verses are very important. 9 and 10 verses are important because what we are going to read in 11, 12 and 13 is dependent on what comes in 9 and 10. Srila Prabhupada also says that in the purport. In the 13th purport, the last line, Srila Prabhupada is saying that one should not carry the ideas of imperfection from this world to the transcendental world and not take into consideration the nature of the atmosphere as completely free from the influence of time, etc., as described previously. So we have to go back now. We should see what has been described previously so that we can understand these three verses better. So 9 and 10. So in 9, what is it that the Lord showed to Brahmaji? Sandarshayam asa. Sandarshayam asa means he showed, he gave darshan. Of what? Swalokam. Swalokam, his abode. To who? To Tasmai. Tasmai means to Brahma. The Lord showed his own abode to Brahma. Then, what is the quality of this abode that he showed to Brahmaji? Param Nayat Param. That abode. Asa Param Nayat Param. Param Nayat Param. That means it is that supreme abode, Vaikuntha. The Vaikuntha which was shown to Brahmaji was that supreme abode which superior to which there is no other abode. Param Nayat Param means Vaikuntha. Nayat Param means there is no other like that. Okay? Param Nayat Param. This Param, this supreme abode, there is no other abode which is superior to this supreme abode. So which abode would that be? So either you can understand it in two ways. So one explanation is that supreme abode is Golok Vrindavan Dham. Of all Vaikunthas, the topmost Vaikuntha is what? Golok Vrindavan Dham. There is no other abode superior to this. That is why we can also understand Brahma Samhita was given by whom? Lord Brahma. It was given by Lord Brahma. That means Lord Brahma has darshan of Goloka. That's why he is able to give Brahma Samhita, description of Golok Vrindavan Dham. But you can also take it as that abode which is Param, which is supreme, which is superior to all material planets. So in the material world, you have the topmost is Lord Brahma's abode, Satyaloka. It is even superior to Brahmaji's abode, topmost planet. Like that also you can take. So then here the description of Srila Prabhupada's purports, we see it's, and even in the actually the verses themselves also, Sukadeva Goswami's verses also, we see description of Vaikuntha planets. So there can be different Brahmas of different kalpas. So some Brahmas may get darshan of Golok, Vrindavan, Dham and other Brahmas, or in other kalpas, they can get. So that's a detail. But anyway, now let's understand this supreme abode, the nature of this supreme abode. Vyapeta Sanklesha Vimoha Sadhvasam. Vyapeta means free from. Some klesha. Klesha means all types of miseries. All types of miseries. That abode is free from all types of miseries. Vimoha and Sadhvasam. It's free from all types of miseries, all types of fear, and also there's one more. Illusion. Illusion. There is no illusion, there is no misery, and there is no fear in that abode. And Swadrishta Vadibhir Purushair Abhishtutam. That means this abode is aspired by who? By the self-realized. Swadrishta Vadibhir. Swa means self. Drishta, darshan. So one who is able to see himself. That means a self-realized person. Abhishtitum, right? So that abode is aspired after. By whom? By the self-realized. That abode was shown by Lord Vishnu to Lord Brahma. Okay. Then the next verse, text 10 is saying, Pravartate yatra rajastamastayo satvam cha mishram na cha kala vikramaha na yatra maya kimuta pare harer anuvrata yatra sura surarchitaha. In that abode, Vaikuntha, Rajas, Tamas, Sattva, Kala and Maya are absent. There is no mode of passion. There is no mode of ignorance. There is no goodness. What does that mean? In Vaikuntha, in the spiritual planet, there is no passion. What does that mean? So this is how you should understand. No passion means, what is the function of passion? Lord Brahma is made of passion, primarily passion. So passion's function is creation. Yes, creation. When you say there is no passion, that means there is no creation there in the Vaikuntha. So if you say there is no creation in Vaikuntha, what should you understand? This is actually very much related to Mataji?
No, there is no death, no
There is no,
inhalation.
no. Creation means creation. Annihilation is different.
Srishti
That is mode of
Laya.
ignorance.
There is all, it is always existed.
Yes, it is always existing. So there is no creation means nothing is created there.
Oh,
But Srila Prabhupada is saying in our current purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, but you should not think that, oh, there is no creation. There is no rajas means there is no creation. That means there is nothing there. No creation means what would you think? Oh, there is nothing there. Nothing is present. Like Mayavadi's understanding, Advaitin's understanding of Brahman is what? Nirvishesh, Nirvikar, right? There is no varieties, there is no form, no qualities, no attributes. Brahman means it's just, that which cannot be explained, which cannot be seen, which cannot be heard, which cannot be touched, which cannot be explained, which cannot be conceived. That is Brahman. Is that the understanding when they say there is no rajas? When there is no passion, that means there is no creation? No. If Sukadeva Goswami wanted to say that there is nothing there, he could have directly said there is nothing. Why did he have to specifically say there is no rajas, there is no tamas, there is no sattva? Why did he have to say that? There was no need. Just like example is, if someone comes to your house and says, do you have salt? Right? And if you say, I don't have salt, that means what? I don't have salt means I don't have salt, but I can have other things. But if you have nothing in your house, if somebody comes and asks you, do you have salt? You would say, I don't have anything. You don't have to specify, I don't have this and I don't have this and I don't have this. You will simply say, I don't have anything. But when you say, I don't have this particular thing, means I have something else, but not this. So here when it is said there is no rajas, means there is no creation. Okay? There is no creation doesn't mean there is nothing else there. There is something else. You don't have created things there, but you have things that are eternally existing there. And their quality is they are not made of the mode of passion, ignorance, or goodness. Eternally existing means they are made of sattva, shuddha sattva, pure goodness. So when you say when there is no creation, the simple line that there is no rajas, no passion means no creation. That means everything that is existing there is not created. It is eternally existing. That's the point.
Great.
Similarly, when you say there is no tamas, there is no annihilation or destruction. That means there is no annihilation or destruction means what? That means everything is eternal there. Nothing is destroyed. Everything is eternally existing there. Whatever you see there, it is never going to end. That's what it means. It cannot be destroyed. Whatever is there in the spiritual world, it cannot be destroyed. So when you say no tamas, that means whatever is there in the spiritual world, it cannot be destroyed. And when they say when there is no sattva guna. So what is the nature of sattva guna? Sattva guna gives you happiness. Yes? Sattva guna, what is from Bhagavad Gita? What are the symptoms of the mode of goodness? Knowledge and happiness. So when you say there is no sattva guna in the spiritual world, means there is no happiness which will come to an end, like in this world. You go to Swarga, you go to heaven. Kshine punya martya lokam vishanti. You go there for some time, and then as soon as your punya is finished, you have to come back to this martya loka to again take birth and die. So that type of happiness, material happiness, even going to Swarga or higher planets, it's temporary. So when you say there is no sattva, means everything in the spiritual world is full of bliss. But that bliss is Satchidananda, Ananda. It's not made of material happiness. It's not made of the mode of goodness. So when you say there is no rajas, there is no tamas, and there is no sattva, means whatever objects you see in the spiritual world, they are not created, they are eternal. Nothing that is there can be destroyed, and everything that is there is of the nature, it's made of pure goodness. And then, just so that you may not conclude that it is void because there's nothing there, right? Nothing, no creation, no annihilation. So then you would say it's void. So therefore it is said, but that place is filled with Harer Anuvrata. That means that place is filled with the followers of Lord Hari. And what type of followers? They are always glorified even by the demigods and demons alike. Even demigods, demons, they are glorifying these devotees. of the Supreme Lord. So this place is filled with devotees. It is filled with the followers of the Supreme Lord, and their bodies, their paraphernalia, their homes, none of it is made of sattva, rajas, tamas. And when you say there is no sattva, rajas, tamas, that means when do sattva, rajas, tamas become active? When time factor comes. When the creation, after annihilation, what happens? These three modes are in equilibrium because the time factor is not acting. At the time of creation, the Lord glances on Prakriti, and with the glance, Kala Shakti also comes, time. And time agitates these modes, and then they start acting, and creation is set into motion. So Kala, time, when time is present, that's when these modes are functioning. So when you say these modes are not there, it automatically means there is no time. There is no time. So it's just going further, one step deeper, and explaining that no rajas, tamas, and sattva means there is no time also there. There is no time in Vaikuntha. And when you say there is no time, that means there's also no Maya, external energy. There is no Maya. Okay? So there is no Maya there in Vaikuntha. If there is no time, then what to speak of Maya? Maya is also not there. So this is what the previous verse said. This Vaikuntha, which was shown to Lord Brahma by Lord Vishnu. Why Lord Vishnu showed this to Lord Brahma? Why the Supreme Lord showed it to Lord Brahma? Being very pleased. Lord Brahma had worshipped him so nicely that the Lord, being very pleased, he revealed this, his abode to Brahmaji. And then today's verse is saying, Shyamavadata Shatapatra Lochana. Those followers, right? There is no Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Kala and Maya, but there are followers of Lord Vishnu who are worshipped even by the demigods and demons. What is the description of these followers of Hari, of these inhabitants of Vaikuntha? What do they look like? That is being explained in this verse. Shyama Vadata. Shyama means Shyama, like Krishna's complexion, right? Bluish, sky bluish. Avadata means their complexion is sky blue, sky bluish. And Shatapatra Lochana. Shatapatra means what? 100 petals, lotus. Lochana means eyes. Their eyes are like lotus flowers. Very beautiful. Pishanga Vastraha. They wear yellow garments, like Krishna also, right? Yellow garments. Surujaha Supeshasaha. They're very, very attractive, very beautiful, very attractive. Sarve Chatur Bahavaha. So all of them have four. Bah means what? Arms. They all have four arms. Unmishan Mani Praveka Nishkabharanaha Suvarchasaha. And they are very shining, and they wear these necklaces made of pearls, superior quality pearls, and they wear other ornaments. And they're very, very effulgent. So this is a description of the residents of this Vaikuntha planet that Brahmaji is seeing. So they are bluish colored, their eyes are like lotus flowers, they wear yellow garments, very, very attractive to look at. They are all four-handed, very effulgent, wearing pearl necklaces and wonderful ornaments. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, so whenever you find impersonal descriptions of transcendence, what does that mean? That does not mean there is no variety there. No, it only means you don't find the material uh, things in the spiritual abode. Whenever there is impersonal description, you should understand impersonal means no material attributes are found there. Not that no attributes are found at all. That's not the understanding. As we can see in these verses, this is a description of the bodily features of the inhabitants of Vaikuntha. And also Srila Prabhupada nicely explains in the purport that just like we see within this world also we have experience. People from China, they have certain features, right? People from Asia, they have certain, or India, they have certain features. Then, like that, from Russia, from America, you have different features within this, on the same planet, different parts of the planet, they have different features. This is understandable. Similarly, there is a bodily difference between people from different planets. Our bodies on the earth are primarily made of earth. When you go to higher planets, it becomes subtle. Bodies are made of, subtler elements, not gross elements. For example, Lord Brahma's body is ether, ethereal. It's made of ether, right? So you see there's difference within this material universe. From one planet to another planet, there is a difference in the bodies. And when you see between the material world and the spiritual world, there are also bodies, but their bodies are completely different from our bodies. They are made of Satchid Ananda. They are not made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, not the subtle elements also, not mind, intelligence. They are made of Satchid Ananda. And even in the form, there's a difference. They'll have 4 arms, we have 2 arms, like that. So that's the difference. And then the next verse is again description of the same personalities there. Their effulgence, their bodies are effulgent like corals and diamonds, right? Pravala Vaidurya Mrinala Varchasaha Parispurat Kund, and they wear earrings, nice earrings, and they have these garlands, right? In their hair. They wear flower garlands in their hair, and their complexion is very, very effulgent like corals and diamonds, like that, Vaidurya diamonds. And then the last verse, very interesting, it is saying that in this Vaikuntha, you'll find many airplanes. So in the variety that you see there, not just about the people, but they have airplanes also. But you may not conceive of those airplanes as the airplanes we see here. They are not driven by machines. No, even the airplanes are actually Brahman. They are also Shuddha Sattva. They are also conscious. We cannot imagine from here, from our position. We can only hear from Shastra and accept it as it is given. We may not, understand it fully unless it is revealed to us. But they have airplanes, and not 1 or 2 airplanes. It is said they have rows and rows of airplanes. Vali means, like Vimana Avalibhir, right? There are rows and rows, like you have these parking lots filled with cars, you have so many airplanes there. But these, and Prabhupada is saying, why just airplanes? This is called Upalakshana. Upalakshana means you mention one item and you understand from that all other related items are also there. So Vimana is mentioned, airplane is mentioned, you can understand there are other carriages like airplanes, they're also there. And the ladies, they are like lightning. They're so beautiful and so effulgent. They're like lightning. So in previous verse, we saw the complexion of the men there, right? They're like sky bluish, right? So, and all these airplanes. So this, what Brahmaji is seeing is it's like a sky filled with clouds. You can say blue clouds, What are those blue clouds? All these men, Vaikuntha men, and with them, they're going in their airplanes, and next to, and who are these people? They are great devotees. Residents of Vaikuntha are great Mahatmas, great devotees. And next to them are their beautiful consorts. They are like lightning. So it's like a sky filled with clouds and lightning. Very, very attractive to look at. That's the darshan Brahmaji is getting of Vaikuntha planet. So, yes. So the important point that Srila Prabhupada is making here in the purport is, when you think of Brahman, because everything is made of Brahman, don't think Brahman means it's just, generally whenever they show, and sometimes in movies also they show, right? When they want to depict God, they show him as some old person wearing all white in the clouds. There's nothing else there. That's not the spiritual world. The spiritual world is full of variety without any inebrities that we find in the material world. They have their homes, they have their airplanes, they have their cars and everything else, but everything is conscious and everything is beautiful and attractive and effulgent and pleasing, full of ananda. That is the spiritual world. This is the darshan that Lord Brahma is getting. So with that I will end. I went 2 minutes over time. Thank you so much. If there's any questions or comments, quick for in 1 or 2.
Thank you very much, Mataji. It's a wonderful, wonderful class. And then the imagination itself, Vaikuntha, oh, it gives so much pleasure. And I don't know if we go there, what will happen. But that imagination itself, I'm feeling so goosebumps. Oh God, I'm feeling so happy. The way people, the way things are there. Oh God, unimaginable, that thing. But the way you are explaining, you took us to almost, took me to Vaikuntha almost. The imagination, with imagination I went there.
Yeah, we can only imagine. We can hear and we can imagine.
But thank you very much, Mataji. It's very, very good, very, very nice. And the four slokas, we did. They're all explaining so good.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
So if there's no other comments or questions, we will end the class here. Thank you all so much for joining this morning. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Samveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai.
Ki jai.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Sarvasya Krapa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Ananta Koti
Koti
Vaishnava.
Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mother Archanabhakti.
Hare
Great to see you. Thank you for speaking to us today.